The Chalmers suspension uses 4 torque rods for each axle. These torque rods are the only parts in the suspension that affect the location or alignment of each axle. The top torque rod sets the axle spread, the side-to-side center, and the axle operating planing angle. They are factory set and play no part in the alignment process. The bottom torque rods set the axle spread, the axle operating angle, and the axle alignment. Adjusting these rods is the only way to adjust the axle alignment. The Chalmers suspension allows for precise alignment. These rods incorporate left and right-hand threads on the same tube. This means that the rod length may be increased or decreased to achieve the desired alignment simply by rotating the tube. Chalmers uses 2 sizes of torque rods and tubes. Measurement and alignment of a vehicle fitted with a Chalmers 800 series tandem suspension or a Chalmers 1000 series suspension may be done with any of the commercially available alignment systems. If this type of specialized equipment is not available, contact Chalmers for alternate alignment procedures. Due to the compressible design of the Chalmers rubber torque rod bushing, all measurements and adjustments need to be made with the bushings in a neutral, fully relaxed state. Any compression remaining in the suspension will result in false measurements and will lead to a misalignment. To reduce the chances of this happening, the following steps should be carried out prior to measurement or alignment. First, to remove any cornering compression, drive the vehicle back and forth a few times in a straight line. Do not set the parking brake because the axles need to be free to move. Next, chock the front tires to prevent the vehicle from moving. Remove all drive axle loads by placing the transmission in neutral and releasing the driveline brakes. If it is not possible to drive the vehicle back and forth, you can release the compression by lifting the rear of the vehicle so all the load is just off the suspension. Hold it for a few minutes and then lower it down. The vehicle must be securely chocked and supported on rigid stands before performing any work. Finally, using an alignment system and following all the manufacturer's operating and safety instructions, take measurements of the axle alignment. Compare these to the vehicle manufacturer's specifications. If none are available, the manual contains some that may be used as a guide. If your inspection has shown that the axles are not within either the vehicle manufacturer's specifications or the Chalmers recommended guidelines, an axle adjustment will be required. If the vehicle has been moved after measurement, the bushings must be neutralized again. When adjusting the torque rod length, it is important that only one is adjusted at a time. Start by loosening both pinch bolts on the adjustable eyes. If the pinch bolt fasteners are badly corroded or damaged, they should be replaced with new hardware. Once the pinch bolt fasteners have been loosened, attach a pipe wrench to the torque rod tube. Rotate this tube to either lengthen or shorten the torque rod. Continue this process until the axle is within the alignment specification. If you have difficulty rotating the tube, the threaded ends may have become corroded. Apply penetrating oil to the threads and try again. If it is still difficult, wedges or a pry bar may be driven between the eye lugs to remove the clamp effect. This should loosen the tube enough to allow it to be turned. It is extremely important that the extended length of the adjustable torque rod does not exceed its nominal length by more than ½ an inch. The nominal length of the torque rod can be obtained by measuring the matching fixed torque rod or by counting the number of exposed threads. The threads should be equally exposed on both sides. Now visually check the rubber bushings. They should appear even around the eye with no distortion. If distortion is seen, neutralize the bushing and remeasure. Continue to adjust the alignment until it reaches recommended specifications. Now tighten and torque the pinch bolts. If the bolts are corroded or damaged, replace them with new fasteners. Torque the 1/2-inch fasteners to 65 foot-pounds. Torque the 5/8 of an inch fasteners to 135 foot-pounds. On a single axle suspension, the alignment is complete. On a tandem axle suspension, this procedure will need to be repeated on the next axle. Remember, failure to check the torque may lead to fastener failure and consequent loss of vehicle control. This concludes this service chapter of the video. Please contact Chalmers if you require further information.